In this episode of Consumer Times, we dive deep into ISO 17088 is to 2021, the international standard that's revolutionizing how we handle plastic waste through organic recycling and composting. Discover why the standard matters for our environment, how it prevents greenwashing, and what it means for the future of sustainable packaging. Hello and welcome back to Consumer Times, where we empower you with the knowledge to make informed choices about the products you buy and use every day. Today, we're tackling a topic that affects every single one of us, the global plastic crisis, and one powerful solution that's making a real difference. ISO 17088 is to 2021. You've probably seen labels claiming products are compostable, biodegradable, or eco-friendly, plastered across packaging in grocery stores. But here's the million-dollar question. How do we know these claims are genuine and not just clever marketing tactics designed to exploit our environmental concerns? This is precisely where ISO 17088 is to 2021 comes into play, and understanding this standard could change how you view sustainable products forever. Before we deep dive into ISO 17088 is to 2021 specifies procedures and requirements for plastics and products made from plastics that are suitable for recovery through organic recycling. Please give your valuable comments, like, share and subscribe YouTube channel to motivate us. We think of it as the gold standard, the rigorous gatekeeper that separates truly compostable plastics from those making empty environmental promises. This international standard, managed by the International Organization for Standardization, establishes clear, scientifically backed criteria that plastic materials must meet before they can legitimately claim to be compostable. But why should you care about yet another technical standard with a boring alphanumeric name? Because plastic pollution has reached crisis levels globally. According to recent environmental reports, millions of tons of plastic waste end up in landfills and oceans annually, taking hundreds of years to break down while releasing harmful chemicals into our ecosystem. The urgency of finding viable alternatives has never been greater, and ISO 17088 is to 2021 provides a framework for validating solutions that actually work. The standard addresses four fundamental aspects that determine whether a plastic product can truly be considered compostable. These aspects are disintegration during composting, ultimate aerobic biodegradation, no adverse effects of compost on terrestrial organisms, and control of constituents. Let's break down what each of these means and why they're critically important for environmental protection. First, disintegration during composting ensures that plastic materials physically break down into small fragments within a specific time frame when exposed to industrial composting conditions. This isn't about plastics simply breaking into microscopic pieces that persist in the environment. It's about genuine breakdown that makes the material indistinguishable from the organic compost around it. Testing laboratories simulate real-world industrial composting environments, monitoring temperature, moisture levels, and aerobic conditions to verify that materials disintegrate properly. Second, ultimate aerobic biodegradation measures whether the plastic's molecular structure actually breaks down at the chemical level. This criterion ensures that the material doesn't just crumble into tiny pieces but genuinely converts into natural substances like carbon dioxide, water, and biomass through microbial activity. The biodegradation process must reach a defined threshold, typically requiring that at least 90% of the organic carbon converts to carbon dioxide within a specified period, usually 6 months under controlled composting conditions. Third, the standard evaluates whether the resulting compost has any adverse effects on terrestrial organisms and plant growth. After all, what's the point of compostable plastic if the compost it produces harms the very soil and plants we are trying to protect? Rigorous ecotoxicity testing examines whether the degraded plastic material affects seed germination, plant growth, or soil microorganisms. This comprehensive assessment ensures that the end product supports rather than undermines healthy ecosystems. Fourth, control of constituents addresses the chemical composition of the plastic itself. The 2021 edition includes new requirements regarding control of constituents with respect to per and polyfluorinated compounds and hazardous substances. This means the standard now scrutinizes potentially harmful chemicals more strictly than ever before, including heavy metals and toxic additives that could leach into soil and water systems. Products must demonstrate that they don't contain these dangerous substances above specified regulatory thresholds. The environmental significance of ISO 17088 is to 2021 cannot be overstated. Under optimized industrial composting conditions, compostable plastics disintegrate and biodegrade at rates comparable to yard trimmings, craft paper bags, and food scraps. This means genuinely certified products can integrate seamlessly into existing organic waste management systems, diverting plastic waste from landfills and incinerators while producing valuable compost that enriches soil. Consider the broader implications for waste management infrastructure. Cities and municipalities worldwide struggle with mounting plastic waste, spending billions annually on disposal and dealing with environmental contamination. Certified compostable plastics offer a pathway to reduce this burden significantly. When properly managed through industrial composting facilities, these materials transform from potential pollutants into agricultural resources, closing the loop in a truly circular economy. The standard also plays a crucial role in consumer protection by combating greenwashing, the deceptive practice where companies make misleading environmental claims to capitalize on growing ecological awareness. Without rigorous standards like ISO 17088 is to 2021, virtually any plastic product could be marketed as eco-friendly without substantiation. The certification process requires extensive laboratory testing, documentation review, and ongoing compliance verification, making it extremely difficult for manufacturers to falsely claim composability. For businesses, achieving ISO 17088 certification represents both a competitive advantage and a responsibility. Companies producing genuinely compostable products can differentiate themselves in increasingly crowded marketplaces where consumers actively seek sustainable alternatives. Certification provides third-party validation that builds trust and credibility with environmentally conscious buyers. Furthermore, many regions now mandate compostability certifications for certain product categories, making compliance essential for market access. However, consumers must understand an important limitation. The standard does not provide information on requirements for the biodegradability of plastics which end up in the environment as litter, and is not applicable to biological treatment undertaken in small installations by householders. This means ISO 17088 is to 2021 certified products require industrial composting facilities to properly break down. They won't necessarily decompose in home compost bins or natural environments. Proper disposal through appropriate industrial composting channels remains essential for these materials to deliver their environmental benefits. As we face escalating environmental challenges, standards like ISO 17088 is to 2021 represent critical tools for navigating the transition towards sustainable alternatives. They provide objective, science-based criteria that help consumers make genuinely informed choices rather than falling for empty marketing promises. They incentivize manufacturers to invest in truly sustainable solutions rather than superficial greenwashing. And they support the development of waste management infrastructure capable of handling next-generation materials effectively. The fight against plastic pollution requires action on multiple fronts, reducing unnecessary plastic use, improving recycling systems, and developing better alternatives. ISO 17088 is to 2021 contributes meaningfully to this last category by ensuring that when companies offer compostable solutions, those solutions actually work as promised. If you found this information valuable, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. That's regulation done right. Not banning innovation, but setting high standards that protect both consumers and the environment while allowing responsible businesses to thrive.